This is Rugby Merlin and welcome back to the channel. This is my review of Italy versus Scotland. A great atmosphere in Rome, and it looks like both teams are really up for this. Italy do get a penalty early on, and Garbisi gets a penalty shot at goal and the ball falls over again. So he can't seem to shake that, but he does with a smile and a shrug, and he puts over the penalty, and that's a great start for Italy, getting rid of some of the regret from the previous game. So yeah, good start for Italy. Scotland start with a ferocious tempo, unbelievable the pace they played the game at, and Italy throwing their bodies at Scotland early on just to stop them. And yeah, it's not often you see a team come out of the gates like that. There's only one team I can think of that Scotland resembled in that first 15-20 minute period, and they were all black, and it did look like that actually. But Italy really do throw everything into defence, but they can't hold out the Scottish, and the Scottish go over for their first try of the match. So at 7-3 to Scotland, they managed to keep up that amazing tempo that they started the game with. And Steyn, who looked good from the start of the match, and he played really well, along with Redbath, he gets over for Scotland's second try. And it's they're looking like the writings on the wall for the Italians. They are, they're not short of commitment, but they just can't hold out the Scottish side early on in the first half. And it's 14-3 to Scotland. So against the run of play, Italy do get a try, and it's a really important one. Brex, who was a monster all game, picked him in Moncello out before the match in the centres, and yeah, he didn't disappoint. He was a complete beast in the centre there, and he gets on the end of a little chip, commits to it, and it bounces nicely for him. And Italy, against the run of play, get a try, and they're well and truly back in it, and it's 14-10 to Scotland. So I don't know about you guys, but I was out of breath watching that first 15-20 minutes, and luckily for me, the game settles down a little bit. It gets a little bit more scrappy, and yeah, the first 15 minutes was incredible actually, and Scotland do get another penalty to put it increase their lead to 17-10, but both teams have definitely come to play. It's a 50-22 from Finn Russell, who played all right. Scotland get a throw in, roll the maul, and it's pretty straightforward actually. Try for Schoolman, who drops over the line for Scotland's third try, and already it's 22-10. So what can Italy do now to get back into this match? Italy really do need some ball. They've been defending so much in this first half, and you wonder if this is going to have an effect in the second. But in the meantime, they need some ball. They play pretty pragmatically, actually, which is kind of a refreshing change from how they played last season. Although they were played some very attractive rugby, they didn't really play in the correct part of the pitch, which Wales can take a few lessons from. But when they do get up there, they get a penalty, and they keep the scoreboard ticking over, and they're still in the game, even though the score is now 22-13 to Scotland. There's a very long range penalty from the Italians, and they knock it over, and that just seems to shift the momentum a little bit to Italy. And you're wondering now, Scotland have done this quite a few times. They've got themselves in the lead and then switched off, and you're hoping for their sake that that doesn't happen again. But going into halftime, it's 16-22 to Scotland. So on to the second half. So Scotland come out of the blocks pretty well in the second half. They do get a try, but it's disallowed. And then, as if it's written, Michael Lina's boy, gets on the end of, this time, a grubber kick from the Italians. They put a chip over in the first half, a grubber to get behind the Scottish defence. In the second, he latches onto it, and there's no stopping him, and he gets over for a try on his debut. And now 21-22, so game on. The game devolves into a little bit of stop-start rugby, and you're wondering which team are going to kind of seize the initiative here and really get back on track. And in fact, it's Italy. They attack the Scottish line, and Varney, the scrum half, who's come on, gets over for a decent try. So now it's 28-22 with 20 minutes to go to Italy, and Scotland are going to have to try and claw their way back into this match because they've let it slip once again. I will say at this point that it looked like a fantastic game to watch live. The crowd in Rome absolutely bouncing and really getting behind this Italian team, and it must make a big difference for them. And they played with conviction and courage all through the match. But at this point, Scotland are going to throw everything at them, so they're going to need that support, I think, in the last 20. Italy look like they are mentally prepared to see out this game. As I say, Scotland are throwing everything at them, but Garbisi, king of the dramatic kick, he gets his mark changed for his penalty shot, but that doesn't faze him at all, and he slots it over, and 31 points on the board for Italy, and it's looking good for them. But yeah, Scotland are really trying to score at this point. They do get over for a try, and it's converted, and then 29-31 is the score. They have a few minutes on the clock, but what a finish for the Italians, and the crowd is absolutely bouncing. For Scotland, it's too little too late. They had their chances in the match to put it away, but the Italians never really let them, really. Just their mentality, they really wanted to win this one, and as is often the case with the Scottish sides, it seems like they wanted it a little bit more than the Scots did. And they got the result, and you can see they're absolutely ecstatic at the end of the game, and I'm so happy finally they got a win in the Six Nations. They've been searching for it, as I said previously. They've been out for blood for this win, and now they face Wales in the last weekend, which is going to be a humdinger, I think. No idea what's going to happen, to be honest, but I'll try and make some predictions later on. But a fantastic game to start off what it was a fantastic Six Nations weekend of rugby. Hope you enjoyed this review, and if you've made it this far, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.